we are with our Gen 2 bucket that's been retrofitted with the new high dump brackets. These help us to increase the stroke that we get out of this curl piston here. So by increasing that stroke, that gives us a even better dumping performance of the bucket than the second generation version. So this is essentially the difference between the second and third generation bucket, and ultimately we're going to go out and do some cleanup here. We've got a lot of leaves in this garden bed here that need to be raked up and towed away, and we'll be doing that, and we'll get back when we got this bucket filled up. Okay, so I'm here with my wife Stephanie, who's been working to rake out this entire garden bed here. So all of the leaves that were out here that we showed you to start have been raked. She did a great job, and she's got them all in the bucket. So this is one bucket full of all the leaves from this garden. So if I might ask, Steph, I mean, how did you used to do this before the bucket?
Well, first I used a wheelbarrow, which would take me quite a while because I have to go quite a distance to dump the leaves or debris. And then we took a small trailer that we hooked up to the back of the, well, it used to be hooked up to the back of the lawnmower, and we put a wheel on the front of that, so that had a lot more capacity than the wheelbarrow. However, when you went to go and dump it, it was a real pain in the neck because you'd have to take a rake and rake the stuff out, and then push
Even though you had a dump trailer, you had to rake it out anyways, because
out.
The dumping doesn't go high enough off the ground. It just pushes up against all the compost that you have that you're trying to dump into, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And then on top of it, we have a little bit of a hill that when we go to leave our compost area, there's a hilly area. So it was becoming rather chore trying to get it up the hill and back out again.
Yeah,
so
right.
This saves me a lot of time. I can do this whole area in maybe an hour, and
wow.
and go to the compost bin once.
Beautiful. Well,
big help.
Yeah, well, that's terrific. I appreciate you chiming in on that. It's you know, again, this is an implement that I think if you get used to using it, you'll find that you'll actually use it more than your steel bucket, because this is what the vast majority of us who own these small tractors are doing in a great sense. We're keeping our properties up, you know, and using them to move a lot of material around the property. And with this bucket, that makes it a lot easier than what we've traditionally been using. And sure, there are other options out there. You know, this is just one of them. But you know, if you think about the other things that you can do with this bucket when it comes to, you know, moving your firewood. Usually your firewood's in tight places or in places where you really can't get a trailer down to, you know, or your gardens are in tight places. Those are hard to get down to. When you're mulching your gardens, you know, if you're using a trailer, now you're dragging it from the edge of your gardens all the way. And so imagine, you know, mulching this at some point. You know, she'd be going in and having to walk back and forth to the trailer to get a shovel full of mulch. And with this, we can just basically have the bucket where we need it, and we can tilt it down and work that shovel against this angled leading edge here to get the mulch out nice and easy. So it just makes the jobs a lot easier. Sure, there are other options, but you know, we find this has been a tremendous benefit for us to use this. We'll move on next because we're doing a de-thatching of the lawn. So this is the front and side lawns that we're going to be running the de-thatcher over. And again, this winds up collecting bags and bags of thatch that has to go to the compost pile. So instead of driving my lawn tractor all the way over to the pile 8, 9, 10 times, we're going to basically just dump all of those bags of mulch that are in that tractor into the bottomless bucket and make one and maximum 2 trips back to the compost pile. So we'll show you that in a minute, but just yet another project we'll be using the bottomless bucket for. Thanks. We'll be back. approved, it looks like. The lawn is all dethatched, so this is the front of the front yard here that we just completed with the de-thatching, and then this is the side yard over here that we just dethatched. So a good sizable piece of property that you know, we had to run the de-thatching machine over, and then of course you had my baggers hooked up to the tractor, so all of this was bagged up, and then we basically put it in the bottomless bucket here. You can see all those loads, the bucket's still not full, and that's why we like to refer to this as the bottomless bucket. So next is we'll take this out and dump it, and you'll get a view as to how the dumping of this works. Otherwise, we'll be back in just a second. So that concludes our first edition of the spring cleanup videos that we'll be doing. You'll want to look for some more of these coming out. We've got mulching videos we'll be doing, showing how we can use this leading edge to dig into our pile of mulch and fill the bucket. You know, normally with heavier material we wouldn't recommend doing that, but mulch this leading edge will work fine for shoveling that mulch into the bucket. You'll also be able to see some videos around how we move our firewood around and get it from the fire, stacked fire piles up to our burn pit that we have set up. So look forward to those. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and give us a like, and we'll talk to you soon.